next morning, I'm awakened by a gentle-ish knock at the door.
Janet, are you awake?
I quickly run my fingers through my ponytailed hair and try to arrange myself. Come in.
Since it's not possible to go out at the moment, I've made the sitting room available this morning for quiet prayer if you wish.
Oh, no, I'm not religious. And I've had more than enough of faking my way through practices I don't believe in with my high school's daily chapel services. I grew up caught between the rituals of my school and the remnants of my grandparents' religion, and never feeling that I quite understood either of them. I don't have any shrines or statues in my dorm room, and I certainly don't go to church. Religion isn't part of my life now. Of course, Vanessa's Christian, and she never goes to church either. I'm not sure very many people do if they're not obligated by schools or families.
Well then, we'll see you for breakfast when you're ready.
So I guess it's Sunday right now. He leaves me to finish my morning preparations. When I come downstairs, Nathaniel and Linz are waiting for me.
What did you and Raphael work out about the food arrangements?
Is Raphael not here? There should be enough to go around as long as we don't waste anything. Your kitchen was pretty well stocked. There are some fresh strawberries that need to be eaten today. All the meat is frozen, so it's vegetables, bread, and milk that will go off fastest. After that, just make sure that when you cook things, you eat the leftovers quickly. Since it appears to be serve yourself this morning, I head into the kitchen to get some fruit and plain cereal. Nathaniel follows and does the same, although he picks a cereal with nuts in it. Lynn shows no interest in the food, heading straight for the French press to make a cup of coffee. We may run out of milk before the 4 days. 3 now, I suppose, are up. But there's plenty of oatmeal and spices, and I can make porridge with water. I return to the dining room to eat my breakfast. Almost said referred. Nathaniel comes in from the kitchen, bringing a glass of water along with his cereal.
Mustn't forget these.
Oh my. So beautiful. He picks up one of the pots of roses and carefully adds a small amount of water. They're very pretty.
And helpless. But as long as we are here to care for them, they will bloom for us.
After that weird segue, and he finishes watering the roses and settles in with his cereal. A minute or two later, Alpin turns up.
I thought you were... Nah, it's not the same. Anyway, it's not my fault I'm stuck in here. Coffee's in the pot. Thanks.
He heads off to the kitchen. Addicts.
No coffee for you, then.
Only when I need to stay up late typing or something. Girl. As a fellow coffee addict, I take offense to that remark. By the way, is there somewhere I can get on the internet from here? I know the phones are down, but it might still work.
The what?
The internet. To send an email? Oh, no. There's like many points in this game where she'll reference something or they'll reference something and they'll be like, oh, I'm not familiar with that. And I mean, it was passable enough that maybe they just didn't know about it. But now with like the internet, and maybe that would explain why Nathaniel was like, that's a weird phone when we first came here. Did we go back in time? Through the warp? Is that why there's that weird thing around the house? I don't know. Oh, the plot thickens.
I don't understand.
I guess he's not much for computers. I shrug and turn to Linz. Does your connection work? Can I borrow it?
What sort of connection?
To connect your computer to the network.
Which network?
The internet.
Which internet?
Stop playing dumb. If you don't want me using your computer, just say so.
Do you know what she's talking about? I'm not sure.
How can they possibly not know what the internet is, of all things? Something's not right here. The internet. The World Wide Web. The information superhighway and Al Gore's stupid campaign speeches. Who? For a moment, I'm lost for words. This is impossible. Now this is completely impossible, but the force field around the house was completely normal for her. Albin re-enters, carrying a mug and some toast. Morning. Who's the president? What? The president of what? Okay, we are in America. The president of the United States. The United Arab States. I'm not certain. I've never been there. Who rules this country? Queen Charlotte, nominally. Ferraro's prime minister, though. I just stare. What's with her? This is the United States of America. We have a president, not a queen. No country has a Queen Charlotte, and everyone knows what the internet is. Oh, right, of course, we're in America, so it's not just back in time. If there's a queen... Are we in an alternate universe? Oh, this is even more interesting now. She's as crazy as Bradley. I am not crazy. I fetch my purse and dig out what money I had with me. Just a few bills and coins, but they're enough to show the logos and famous figures of the USA. That was smart. Where did these come from? Plenty of board games print funny money. Not coins. Lens picks up a nickel and eyes it curiously. And these dates are accurate. Why wouldn't they be? They're in the future. Eh? She's supposed to be a time traveler now? Not exactly. Some of these years are real. What year is it for you? 1984. Over 20 years in the past? What? Where do you come from? I come from here. I went to high school at St. Teresa's and then to Brook College, and then I went on a drive with Bradley, and... There's no school named Brook College near here. I've lived here in Memphis my whole life. Memphis was a city in ancient Egypt. This is Chickasaw Oaks. Bradley was right! This house doesn't exist. You're all... hallucinations or spirits or something. She's lost it. I can assure you that I'm quite real. He touched me earlier when he was setting up the magnets for the tests. He's not a ghost. But what is he? Do you have any other evidence of your story? Do you have any evidence of yours? I believe I asked you first. I shake out my purse onto the table, revealing a book, published in the USA, 1991, a pen, a hairbrush, a keyring, my wallet, with up-to-date bank cards, student ID, and state non-driver's ID, a packet of tissues, a squish pack of vending machine crackers, and, of course, my cell phone. I hand over the evidence, along with explanations. After I turn on the cell phone, Linz takes it from my hand and stares in fascination. What's so exciting about no signal? Full color and such high resolution and something so small. You really are living in the past. It's just a toy. I'm sure we could produce a toy like this with dedicated factories, but the cost would be far too much for a prank, even for someone like Nathaniel. Do you truly come from our future, Janet? There wasn't a Queen Charlotte in the 80s either. There hasn't been a king or queen here for over 200 years. A parallel universe. Fascinating. That's impossible. Not impossible, just very, very improbable. Perhaps you judged Bradley's motives too quickly. I never denied having a colossal ego. Bradley! We have to let him out and find out what he knows. He's been researching this.
He attacked us.
He was scared and confused. He won't do it again.
So, you're on his side after all.
I'm on my side.
Something very strange is going on. We should share what knowledge we have. Well, I won't be a part of it.
Oh, Albin, I can't wait to do your route. Get you a little more cooperative.
Come on, Linz. If they're letting him out, we better make sure that the lab is secure.
9 hours left of day 3. Well, at least Bradley's out of his room, finally.
And so your colonies declared independence in the time of King George III. That's right.
No American Revolution. No Continental Congress. Instead, they have a country named Atlanta after the ocean, and it's part of the British Commonwealth. But the river is still the Mississippi.
Interesting.
Was it the same King George that we had?
It would seem so. Perhaps this is where our worlds diverged. That depends. Have you ever heard of Shakespeare? What's that?
Okay then, your world is a lot different from ours. Once he heard that Nathaniel and the others might actually believe his story, Bradley was eager to help. He doesn't even seem to hold a grudge for being locked up overnight. Of course, Nathaniel is not returning Bradley's weapon. I don't know what happened to it. They didn't tell me, which is reasonable. What would you recommend as a good world history text? It would be interesting to see what else...
Don't get distracted, Janet. If this is another world, learning its history won't solve our problems. Which are... How did we...
Bleh. I bit my own tongue while trying to say that sentence. Lovely. Bleh.
How did we get here? What happened to the other people who disappeared? And how do we get home? All very good questions. You. Please, we should not be enemies. Perhaps not. However, I should inform you that the entrance to my laboratory is locked and trapped with a variety of interesting measures. Therefore, if you are here to engage in industrial espionage, you would be advised to reconsider, unless you enjoy excruciating pain. In which case, we might be able to devise something more entertaining to do together. You freak. This is all part of some scheme of yours after all. You may fool them, but you don't fool me.
Bradley, stop it. He was just coming on to you. Also, we need his help.
He doesn't want to help us. On the contrary, if you have discovered a method of extra-universal travel, I am eager to learn about it. Where is Albin? He still believes that these two are either deranged or unfriendly agents, or both.
Now, when you say you said agents before. Who are these agents?
But you've changed your mind. That's my prerogative.
Okay, so what do we know? We've jumped from our world into yours, and this has probably happened to people before. Bradley, you said people were disappearing every 5 years, and the first one was 25 years ago, right?
The first one I could find in the papers. Not every missing person gets news coverage, and it's not always easy to know where someone disappeared from. There could be more.
Of course. Why would anything be simple? But did they all come here?
Susan said that she saw a large house with lights in the windows, but that's not much of a description. I thought it was this house, but I can't be sure.
Susan was your sister?
Susan is my sister. She's out there. Somewhere.
Well, what does she look like? In case someone saw her here.
Taller than you, about 5'9", brown hair down past her shoulders with bright purple streaks, hazel eyes. She had 3 piercings in one ear, 1 in the other. The night she went out 5 years ago, she was in a little black dress and a red leather jacket, and her old blue backpack.
She sounds like a stunner, man.
She'd been out to a party. She was coming back. Her car broke down. She went to the house for help. She was only 20. I'm sorry. If someone like that had knocked on our door, I think I would remember. I didn't live in this province 5 years ago. Neither did Raphael. You might ask Albin. A girl like that, if she'd come to this city, could have ended up running with his friends. What do you mean, a girl like that? Now, don't rush to judgment. I have very fond memories of that kind of girl. You slimy son of a... Quiet!
Bradley, he always talks like that. Don't rise to it.
Linz, please remember that this young man does not know if his sister is alive or well. Please, be gentle with him. My point was only that she sounds like a young woman who prefers entertainment to study. It doesn't matter anyway. Susan was going to the house that she saw. If she was never here, if she was thrown into some other universe, there's always hope. She could have arrived at a time when I was away from home. When Lynn's experiment is complete and the force field gone, we can contact...
Linz glares at Nathaniel, but I'm distracted as the weight of the matter suddenly settles on my shoulders. We're in another universe. Different history, different science, different people. When that force field goes away, we'll still be in another universe. We're not trapped for 3 days. We're trapped forever. My head spins. Linz is speaking, but I can't hear him. Oddly enough, it's his presence that gives me focus. The last time I panicked, he knocked me out. I don't want him to do it again. Gotta think positive. Yeah, positive thoughts. Wait, someone's talking to me.
Janet, are you alright?
I'm okay. I'm just thinking about our problems, like you said. Your sister has never been able to get home, right? Even if we find her, what do we do then? If we're trapped here, how do we live? My school doesn't exist in this universe. How do I get my degree? Oh my goodness, the most horrifying question of them all! My degree!
Perhaps I could help. We'll find a way out. I got here, didn't I? When everyone said it was impossible, and I didn't even know where I was trying to get to. And now you'll have someone intelligent assisting you.
Bradley glares, but this time he is able to resist Lynn's taunting.
However, for the next 3 days, our focus is still here. The procedure must be completed. But some of us enjoy multitasking. We can't afford to lose you to another universe. Naturally.
Nathaniel closes his eyes and takes a deep breath.
Bradley, Janet, you are my guests, and I will do what I can for you, so long as you are respectful to the other members of the house. Please stay out of the basement and don't disturb Linz when he needs to work. Please respect the privacy of others.
I understand.
Yeah, whatever. I expect you'll be able to find many interesting books here now that you know where you are. So, if you'll excuse us.
With a polite nod, Nathaniel exits and Linz goes with him. Just our luck that we ended up in a universe of force fields and mad scientists, huh?
Could be worse. Could be dragons. No, really. A rich guy offering us a place to stay while we search, and a crazy scientist helping us get back. That's about the best I could hope for.
So you don't think there are serial killers or ghosts anymore?
I don't know anything for certain, but this explanation makes more sense. The simplest explanation is usually true, right?
The simplest explanation is that this is all one crazy dream.
You're too smart to believe you're crazy.
Well, that's true. We're standing there smiling at each other and thinking about what a wild, mixed-up world it is, and therefore we don't even hear someone else enter the room, because we're in love now. Uh-oh. Why are you here to cause a ruckus, man?
Don't think you're getting off that easy. Nathaniel's soft, wants to think everybody's all nicey nice. But I'm not. You're a coward and a liar and a maniac, and I'm not going to forgive what you've done. What about you? You've been hassling us ever since we got here. You punched me in the face. You tried to kill me. If I tried to kill you, you'd be dead.
They look like they're about to come to blows. What should Janet do? Why do I have to do anything? Grief. Not gonna get Nathaniel. What's the best way of getting to where I need to get? Okay, I don't want to do that. There's gotta be a more direct way to do this. Maybe... Aha! Here we go. I think we should jump between them, as crazy as that is. But we're tough. Small little thing. Don't need no man. But also we're here to get a man. So whatever, we're gonna jump between two of them. Oh. Here's a picture. Guys! Don't crack your knuckles and don't flex your elbow, okay? Before this can get any more painfully macho, I rush between them.
Janet!
Knock it off, you two. Nobody cares that you hate each other. We're all stuck in here, so just shut up.
Get out of my way.
Make me.
This is between him and me.
You shut up too. What do you think you're going to accomplish anyway? Knocking each other's teeth out? You'll bleed all over the carpet and you'll still be here. Idiots. Albin raises his hands in surrender and takes a step back. When he gives me that smile, I feel really weird. Like he's like, hey babe, I like that tough attitude. Wink wink. I'm like, Albin, you're such a hot and cold person.
I submit to Janet. I don't like you. You know that. Point made. Just stay out of my way.
He leaves the library. Whoa, hey, I think we might have maxed out.
Phew. I thought that guy was going to brain me again.
If you didn't want to fight, why were you egging him on? Is this just some stupid guy thing?
You heard him. He wasn't going to let it go, and sorry wouldn't cut it. Some people keep pushing until you push back.
So you have to butt heads. It is a stupid guy thing.
Maybe.
Nathaniel or Raphael?
Was somebody yelling?
Nope. It was Raphael. Darn it. Raphael peers tentatively into the room.
You?
Hi! We have a long story to tell you. Yeah, where did Raphael go? Was he just in the basement the entire time? The door is closed, hiding the force field from my view, and now that I've had some time to think about it, I wonder what lies beyond. There's a whole new world out there. Are there trees like our trees? Are the squirrels gray or red or black? Traffic lights? Street signs? Airplanes? Everything could be foreign. There's 100,000 things I want to see. But as long as the barrier lasts, this mansion is my entire universe. Me and them. Oh, this is where we start branching. Of all the boys, it's Bradley that I feel most drawn to. When I agreed to go out with him, I wasn't taking it seriously. I thought he was trying to prove he could date the entire freshman class, for some sort of male bragging rights dare. So in a funny way, I was doing it to fit in. Everybody else went out with him, so I would too. And Vanessa had been so shocked when she found out I'd never been on a date ever, which I guess shows that I was doing a good job of acting normal otherwise. I didn't want to explain to her what the boys at high school really thought of me and how humiliated I'd been. I just told her that none of them measured up to my standards, which was also true. She thought I should go out with Bradley, just for practice, and I agreed. So we went out for dinner and a movie, both of us going through the motions, and we were bored out of our minds. I didn't know him at all. The real Bradley isn't some jock scoring points by collecting freshman girls. He's been searching for his lost sister for 5 years, with everyone telling him he was crazy, telling him to give up. How many weeks did he have to spend buried in newspapers and microfilm before he found the pattern that no one else had seen, with every muscle itching for action? That string of meaningless dates, girl after girl, every time hoping that this would be the one and always disappointed. He had to doubt himself, surely. To wonder if his whole existence, those 5 years of searching, had been a waste. But he never faltered. He continued on his quest, turning a cheerful face to girl after girl, always treating them with chivalry. A modern knight hunting for dragons. Or possibly just windmills. I can't help but admire that stubborn dedication. And here we are, together, in this new world. Each of us is the only remembrance the other has of home, the only proof we have that our world and our past is real. We are partners in a great adventure. But at the same time, I can't forget that he's the one who got me into this. He didn't ask for my help, he tricked me into it. If I never get home again, it'll be his fault. If it had been some garden variety serial killer that had taken his sister and all those others, I would be dead now. Or if he decided for certain that we were all threats and started firing that gun. If I need a hero, he'll be there to defend me. But if it's a choice between me and his goal, would he even hesitate? Thoughts to ponder, I guess. I find Linz and Bradley in the library trading notes.
We don't have moon bases.
What power sources do you use?
Mostly oil and gas, maybe coal. A little bit of nuclear and wind power.
Nuclear fusion or nuclear fission? Where does the fuel come from?
I have no idea.
Fission, but I don't know where they mine the uranium from. I see him frown and draw a large black X on the paper where he's taking notes.
And the oil?
That comes from the Middle East, pretty much.
There's also solar power.
Photovoltaic cells? What do you make them out of?
I don't know. They're black? He shakes his head, which makes my cheeks burn. It's not my fault I don't know how to build a solar cell. I'm only in freshman chemistry. Give me a break.
What about medical science? Do you, your culture, know how to restore brain function?
I don't think so. You hear about people coming out of comas, but it's not because of anything the doctors did. We just keep them alive and sometimes they wake up.
There was something in the news about keeping people really cold to prevent brain damage during surgery, but I don't think it helps fix existing damage. Not good enough. Surely I can do better and prove that I'm knowledgeable about science and medicine and awe these boys. Maybe stem cells? They might be able to grow new brains with them eventually.
Cells from the brainstem?
No, it's a kind of non-differentiated cell that can develop into all other kinds of cells. So they're working on being able to use them to grow replacement organs instead of having to wait for donors. Hearts, lungs, maybe even brains.
Interesting. Have you found a cure for transplant shock?
You mean organ rejection? I think they use immune suppression drugs.
This medical stuff is kinda gross.
What about longevity drugs?
We don't have any. Not ones that work, anyway. There are a bunch of scams about starving yourself or extra vitamins, but they do nothing.
Interesting. Our early trials suggest lifespan enhancements of up to 30 years without the failings of extreme age, although it's soon to tell.
You cured old age? Are you sure we're the ones from the future?
You're not from my future. You're from a different future and a different past. You're behind us in space travel, ahead in electronics, and each of our continuums has medical technology that the other doesn't. Knowledge which you take for granted could be a matter of life and death here, or vice versa. Our greatest discoveries will likely be accidental. Now, let's talk about your method of traveling between universes.
Don't know anything about it. It just happened.
Where were you before you came here?
We went to the dressage restaurant, then to the Galleria cinema at the mall. But none of that exists here, so why does it matter?
Because I'd like to determine exactly where the wormhole you came through is. Now, have you been to this mall before?
Sure, plenty of times.
Me too.
Where did you go after leaving it?
We drove around for a while. It was dark and raining.
When did it start raining?
Must have been during the movie.
Thunder? Lightning?
No.
Did you notice anything at all out of the ordinary at any point during your drive?
How could we? It was dark.
A change in the road or the weather? A momentary lull in the rain? Unfortunately, I am not a gravitic specialist.
We didn't see anything.
We saw the house.
House? This house?
Maybe. It was dark and I was looking out the window, and then for a moment I thought I saw something in the woods, like distant lights. Then the car broke down. Bradley pinches his lips together, saying nothing. Did it not break down and you lied about that?
About how far away was that?
I don't know. Less than a mile. Once we started walking, I saw the lights again and we followed them to the house.
Did you notice anything odd when you were walking here?
Other than Bradley clinging to my hand for dear life?
You know why I was...
I reach out and squeeze his hand to reassure him that I'm only teasing.
Yes, other than that.
There weren't any signs of anything strange while we were walking to the house, and I was looking for them then. Spotting the house was what made the difference. There was never a house there before. If there's a wormhole, it has to have been back on the road.
Which means that your car should be present within this reality, and it may mark your entry position. Once matters here are concluded, we should investigate.
Yeah.